Yeah. Run it up, blondo. Run it up, blondo.
Wow, so it actually happened. Paolo Banchero is the newest member of the Orlando Magic. After weeks of Jabari Smith being the favorite for the #1 overall pick, the Orlando Magic duped everyone by choosing to pick the 6'10 man-child out of Seattle, Washington, Paolo Banchero. I admit that I had Jabari #1 overall in my board because of his shooting ability and also his work ethic, but Paolo Banchero was not far behind. Honestly, any of the top 3 would have been perfect for the Magic, but shoutouts to Wellham for them keeping it a secret for this long. And, I should have known, their interest in Paolo was hidden in plain sight. They were so discreet about Paolo this entire time while showcasing Jabari and allowing the news of Chet's workout with them to circulate without, being coy about it like they did with Paolo. It's still surprising to me right now because Jabari and Chet fit the perfect archetype of a prospect that Wellman and Hammond prefer. But when you break things down and really dissect Paolo's game, then he also fits what the Magic prefer as well. He's damn near a 7-footer with guard-like skills and a great feel for the game, sort of like Giannis Antetokounmpo, who John Hammond drafted, and Pascal Siakam, who Jeff Weltman was influential in the Raptors picking. But when you look past the Magic front office's love for wingspan, Banchero as a prospect and what he could bring to our team was just too good to pass up. As I mentioned in my Paolo Banchero video from a few weeks ago, his ability to create both for himself and for his teammates at his size is special. He's the only one out of the consensus top 3 who has the potential of being an alpha scorer that the Magic desperately need. Paolo Banchero is built like a tank, intelligent, physical, and has a great feel for the game. He's going to be an offensive mismatch from day one. Banchero can beat his defender off the bounce and finish efficiently around the rim. He can also pull up from the mid-range off various advanced separation moves. His mid-range shooting will make him an asset down the line, when we start contending and playing in the playoffs. Additionally, he has extremely crafty post moves, for example, step-throughs, drop steps, and pivots. The 250-pound forward can also back down his opponents down low on the block and turn around over both shoulders. At his absolute peak, Banchero could be a 3-level scorer who would average 25 points per game efficiently. His draft profile is extremely similar to fellow Blue Devil Jason Tatum. Like Tatum, Banchero is extremely balanced and fluid with a deep bag of offensive tricks. He can also face up against his defender. One move that he loves to do is taking a few dribbles to his left and pulling up. His stutter and shimmy jabs are lethal, and he has advanced moves in his bag such as hand dribbles, hezzies, behind the backs, and push cross dribbles. His go-to move off the bounce is his violent spin move, which is still going to be hard to guard at the NBA level with his mixture of strength and fluidity. And it doesn't stop there. His greatest contribution in the first few years of the Magic could be his playmaking. He has a crisp handle for his size and sees the floor at an elite level. He isn't afraid to execute difficult passes and will be a terror out on the fast break. Jamal Mosley loves to play with pace and space. That's his vision, and Paolo could personify that with the Magic. More importantly, he showed competence in running pick and rolls in the limited times that he had as a ball handler at Duke. That's not his fault because college basketball play types are usually more traditional. Banchero is adept at spotting open shooters or rim runners out of pick and rolls. He projects as an elite off-dribble playmaking big in the mold of 2018-2019 third-team All-NBA Pistons Blake Griffin. To provide some stats, Paolo averaged 6 assists per 100 possessions, 4 assists per game in his last 20 games at Duke, and ranked in the 94th percentile in assist percentage. Now, what about his fit with the Magic? Before reviewing his tape, I was skeptical about his fit with Franz Wagner, Markelle Fultz, and Cole Anthony. You see, Banchero needs a ball in his hands just like those three. However, it's not a bad thing having a lot of playmakers. To be a great team, you need multiple playmakers at different positions. It's also essential for a contending team to have multiple scorers as well. At Duke, Banchero shared playmaking duties with other future NBA prospects who also needed the ball in their hands like Wendell Moore and Trevor Keels. He played off of them well and still managed to get his numbers within the flow of the game. Banchero is not a black hole on offense. Instead, he's unselfish and adaptable. I'm going to talk about his fit with Franz Wagner and Chuma first. Banchero can play the 4 with Franz at the 3, and he's versatile enough to play the 3 while Chuma plays the 4. Now, both Franz and Chuma should rejoice because Banchero will make their lives much easier. Banchero has tremendous vision for finding cutters, whether it's from backdoor or curl cuts. Banchero is good at shooting off the catch, so he'll be able to catch passes and shoot off drives from Franz Wagner driving kicks. Paolo's fit with Wendell and Mo will also be seamless. Banchero established a good high-to-low big man partnership with Mark Williams at Duke, and I think that'll translate smoothly to the Magic as well. Banchero will drop off passes and dump off Sudell and Mo off the bounce, and will also throw lobs from the perimeter or out in the fast break. Also, can you imagine having to deal with Banchero and Wendell pick and rolls? They're fluid enough to run those as big men, and at their peak, they could be a terror for opposing defenses to deal with. The pairing of Banchero with either Dell or Mo in the front court on defense, however, will be a struggle at the start. It all boils down to how fast Banchero improves his instincts on defense, because he has all the tools of, guarding out on the perimeter and also protecting the rim as a weak side shot blocker. Now the biggest concern could be Banchero's fit with all our young guards, who all still need to prove that they can be outside threats. Markelle Fultz has such a great understanding of the game to the point where he can mesh with anyone on the floor. He'll find and hit Banchero for easy scoring opportunities to make his transition to the NBA a lot easier. In turn, Banchero could make Markelle's life easier as well by being able to pick and pop or spread the floor for him. Once Banchero improves his 3-point shot, then he'll be able to form effective two-man games with either Fultz, Suggs, Cole Anthony, and RJ Hampton. And I have to speak about this, spacing will be a huge issue for the Magic once again next season. And it's why I expect some more growing pains for the Magic despite being a roster filled with talented young players. Next year we'll get to play with a fully healthy roster for the first time since the start of the rebuild. I expect us to be bad enough to be in the lottery again, but good enough to still contend for a playing spot, so roughly around 33 to 35 wins. But it's still going to be a step forward for the Magic franchise, and I expect Paolo to play a big role in a 10-win record improvement next season. Out of the consensus top 3, Paolo is easily the most well-rounded prospect and was the best shot that the Magic had of landing a star player from the 2022 NBA draft. However, he isn't a finished product by any means and still has some areas of improvements in his game. I'm going to keep the positive vibes of the day going and I'm not going to dive deep into all that in this video, but I'll make a separate video addressing some common concerns about Paolo's game, just like I did for Chet Holmgren, so stay tuned for that. In short, his motor issues are overblown and his 3-point shot will come around. His form looks good right now when in rhythm, and he still managed to shoot a respectable 34% from 3 at Duke. Overall, it was a pretty good draft night. We traded one of our second rounders, but we also kept one and still lucked out pick down the line. Well, that's the end of the video. Please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It's going to motivate me to put out more videos and free Magic content for you guys. But you guys do show a lot of love, as I've reached nearly 500 subscribers despite only putting out 15 videos. I promise that I'm going to put out more free Magic videos for you guys a lot more frequently. Thanks for all the love and let's go Magic.